felt great today, waking up. I really do love being here, especially when the weather's good. Obviously, when the weather's not good, it's never great anywhere in general. But the weather's been spectacular all week, and we have such a great welcome here in Shanghai. And I love this track. And with the new tarmac and everything, there was really a lot of grip, but there's quite a lot of deg for everybody. I think a lot of graining on these tires. They put the pressures up overnight, so pressures are super high. But yeah, I just tried to manage it. But I mean, starting from first in the Ferrari and winning in the Ferrari is next level, man.
I think it was, one position off the result I wanted, but in terms of how I executed the sprint, it was exactly what I wanted to do. And I think, that gives me a lot of confidence going into tomorrow. I think having some clean air out front is definitely going to be helpful if we can get it. So trying to maximise qualifying is going to be important. But happy with the way today's panned out.
It's not disappointing. It's still better than I think where we should have finished in terms of pace. But luckily also behind they were fighting I think a little bit, so that helped me out a bit to the end. But I could clearly see already in the first few laps. In front of me, of course, Lewis was saving quite nicely. I had Oscar pushing up behind me, so I tried to stay ahead, not, of course, giving up lightly. And
thought we was on course for P3 as well. It was halfway through the race. We had 4 seconds to Charles behind, 4 seconds to Oscar at the time, and then suddenly I'm catching Max, half a second a lap. And then I look at my mirrors and I'm like, oh, geez, he's catching me half a second a lap as well. The Ferraris were the cars to beat today, so I'm pleased with P4.
I wouldn't really blame the car because Lewis is doing a great job with it. So for me, it's me really. Until now, I haven't been comfortable with the car as it is. I took a slightly different direction compared to Lewis in terms of setup, but I don't think it's all in there. I just really struggle on this track historically, and it's there's no exception this weekend. But it's not an excuse. I need to react, and qualifying will be a good start to turn things around.
Very happy. Definitely start was decisive and enjoyed it definitely. Whole race that able to keep the top teams behind. Was not certainly easy, but I think impressed with the pace, how the pace was there. To be honest, I thought it's gonna be very very tough race, but actually we're able to hold on quite well, and obviously. Towards the end, I had quite a lot of degradation, and I saw Lando was catching up, so I was definitely stressing, but still, good job for the teams that are able to score points, especially what we experienced last week, losing a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, I think lap 1 really defined the race because already we saw yesterday the deck was quite big, but I mean. Doing the whole race 0.5, 0.7 behind really didn't help the tires, which really overheat, and was really real struggle. I was struggling to turn the car, especially low speed, and I think in free air could have been a different race, but it was still a good experience today.
I didn't really have any pace. I struggle a lot in these conditions with the front graining. It's like my worst nightmare, so I have a lot of work to do, but I was struggling a lot out there.
Yeah, there was an issue with some water temperature stuff, but at the end, it was a very tricky race, a lot of front graining, did what we could, not enough.
Probably a little bit excessive front graining and front deck, that was a little bit of a surprise, so yeah, we need to improve for tomorrow. We have the opportunity now to change a little bit the setup, and that will be the aim, I think, to improve the degradation in the front axle tomorrow.
Needed a handbrake in the car to get it to turn in a couple of corners. Front deg, I think graining, same for everyone. I think we got it worse than others, and need to figure out what we can do. Obviously, there's not much time now before qualifying, and if we do challenges, I think we're gonna sacrifice our qualifying car for our race car, but I think it might be the right thing to do.
A pretty exciting sprint race from our side. Obviously, it was a shame that we started further back, but I knew we will be able to display some pace and manage to make some nice moves. Managed to get 5 position at the end. Obviously, once the damage was done yesterday with the traffic in quali, but I think we got a lot of learnings for later on and also for tomorrow. So we just need to make sure we get a strong quali later on.
Decent race, good fun. Took it really easy at the start to make sure I was completing all the laps, and it was good battles with the other guys, and it seemed like we had the upper hand with the car we have in the midfield. So it seems like it's working really well, but I have an idea of how to make it a step better. Degradation was pretty high for everyone. For us, it was less as bad, but let's see, we can improve.
It was tricky, to be honest. Just, I think like everybody, we struggled a lot with tyres, with graining. So it sort of halted our progress. I think we tried to, I was quite cautious at the start. It was all kicking off on the first lap. So I was just trying to survive it, and then started to push a bit more, but just struggled with tyres. So something we'll have to look at for tomorrow.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Good start, held position, and then from that was just trying to manage the tyres. I think we expected the front to drop off, and unfortunately a little bit too much compared to some of the others.
We've learned quite a bit, I think. Obviously we have more data. Looks like it was difficult with tyres for everyone, more for some than others. On our side it was a bit better at the end. So yeah, I think we'll give it a good look, try and work hard for qualifying, and hopefully qualify better, because the race pace was okay.
Yeah, we are struggling quite a lot with the setup of the car this weekend and the front graining issues. Given that I was not going to get any points and I was starting to go backwards with massive front graining, we decided to make a pit stop to try something different in the car and give it another stint to see if we could improve the car, and hopefully it has given us a bit of information for tomorrow.
We just lack a little bit of pace here, and we struggle with the tires comparing to Isaac, for example. He had so much more performance grip available. Even when he overtook me, I could see, comparing to the other cars I had, I couldn't keep him up behind. But yeah, not an easy sprint race, especially at the end with the contact with Jack. So need to review what happened exactly there. But I think he locked up and he hit me.
Still, once I got picked up the pace and got to the train in front, the dirty air just eats through the tires, and there's no saving that, no getting around it. So yeah, it was all about front graining for everyone, or at least where I was, and it was pretty tough.
Didn't obviously go exactly as planned, but yeah, went for a move on that last lap, turn 14. Didn't exactly go to plan. I need to have a look into it, see what happens, so that it doesn't happen again, and then put our focus to qualifying this afternoon.